Hello, this is Leech83. How we doing? Welcome to my new vlog, and today we're going to be talking about a potential starting 11 for the away trip to FC Astana. Now, I've just went with the 11 that I think could potentially start, and I'm using this website here called starting11.co.uk. The main reason we're doing that is because on FIFA 16, Owen O'Connell actually isn't in the game, so there's no point in doing it on FIFA because it would just be a blank space. So I thought I'd just use this as the first starting 11 creator I could find online. So we've got the kind of the 11 that I think we get the potential to start. I'm going to base this on a few different things. I'll explain my decisions as we go through. So obviously Craig Gordon's got to be in net. I would go with Lustig at right back, Saviachenko and Owen O'Connell in the middle with Kieran Tierney. Now, the reason I think Owen O'Connell should play is because he played pretty decent against Leicester, to be fair, and also managing to get his goal was pretty good. Also, so I just give him the chance. And the main reason I'm going to say this is because if we set up the defence as like a flat back four and keep the four as stay back, don't need to go forward, and be cautious about things, then they would stay pretty solid. Then he's not going to be kind of beat for pace or beat for position or anything like that. And it's with Saviachenko beside him, he's obviously solid enough. It just seems like the kind of better option to go with. You could have went another way that I had said what I thought we would do for this return leg against Lincoln Red Imps and go with Lustig as part of the back two, if you like, the centre two. I don't see us playing with three at the back. I think we're probably going to go with a four. So this is the reason why I've picked the 4-4-2 and why I've took these four defenders. So it's just my opinion. Anyway, right, so midfield now. We're going to go with Forrest out on the left, with Armstrong, Scott Brown and Patrick Roberts on the right. Now, Patrick Roberts has just been phenomenal from the get-go for Celtic. He's just been absolutely brilliant. Hit the ground running, and he just seems so creative. His giving goals with Armstrong is just absolutely superb. So I probably see that becoming more of a kind of free, if you like, because Scott Brown maybe drop a little bit deeper, and you would then rely on Armstrong just kind of floating about midfield, if you like, trying to look up for those link-up plays, those 1-2s and the giving goals that we're using. They were used very, very well against Lincoln Red Imps, and we could also see it trying to happen in a few stages against Leicester as well. So that's how I think we go with that. Up front, I think we need to go for a change. Nothing against Dembele. He's had a lot of chances, but he's just not put anything away yet. And his time will come. He's still young, and once he starts, he'll probably end up scoring a barrel load. But at the moment, he's just not quite sharp enough. I think Nadir Chivchi, the game might suit him a little bit more better. His link-up play has been pretty good lately. He's got good feet, both feet. He can use to hold the ball up. Again, his interlink play is pretty decent. Now, the reason I'm kind of putting it like this is because, as I said in my last vlog talking about Astana and their previous record in Europe and how they play at home and this, that and the next thing, is I do think we're going to be coming up against a very, very compact team who are going to like to defend very deeply and let us have quite a lot of the ball. But at the same time, it's going to be really difficult to kind of break them down. And at the same time, I don't see them catching us out too much because I had a wee look at the players. Not too many of them are like rapid players. They've lost their top goal scorer due to injury, so that's a little bit of a blow to them. But it also means there's another unknown coming into the team, so need to wait and see who they go for that one. But never mind, not really fussed about them. But as I say, with Nadir Chifchi, it just gives us that little bit of a link up, and then obviously Lee Griffiths, he'll just shoot from anywhere. He will literally have a dig from anywhere. So I think Nadir looking up and having him beside Griffiths makes the more sensible option. Also, he's stronger on the ball as well, so he should just be able to hold up a little bit better and get those spaces opened up for Griffiths himself. So that's just kind of how I see it going. It's as I say, just my opinion, how I think it might happen. So that's my projected 11, if you like. As for how things are at the moment, I was very, very disappointed that we didn't sign anybody on Thursday night before the deadline. Not that anything was needed immediately urgency, but I thought the club would show a little bit more of a desire to appease a lot of people, because the fans are still severely pissed off with our transfer strategy and the way we go about things. As I mentioned in my very first vlog talking about Celtic's potential transfer dealings and what have you, at that time I was very ambitious, and this was before the Euros had only just started when I made that vlog, sorry, and at the time we were talking about things like Joe Allen and stuff like that, who's now been linked up with like £13 million moves, which is just way beyond our budget. So I mean, thinking more realistically, I think the fans needed somebody who could come in and take like add to the shine, if you like. We've got a great top class manager. Let's make some signings. Let's show we've got some money. Let's not fucking dilly dally about. The club has got a fucking shit ton of money hiding behind the scenes, and Mr. Lawwell again refuses to put the checkbook out, as it would appear in the front line. We don't know what's going on behind the background, and that's the thing I like about Celtic lately, is we've been doing things very, very privately and very, very quietly, which is good in a way, because the media like to have us linked with everybody and their father, and then when we don't sign them, it's a failure. And any failure that can be labelled against Celtic, the media will be all over. So I quite like how Celtic are doing it that way, but at the same time, for us, it's very frustrating. But then, to sign Kolo Toure, I think is possibly not seen as a coup. I think it might be a coup, because this guy, I mean, he's at 35. He was playing in the Europa League final last season, 4 months ago, if you like. Wasn't even 4 months ago. He's playing in the Europa League final, and he's playing in the Premiership. He's playing for a pretty high rated team. He's been traded around for quite a lot of money, from Arsenal to City to Liverpool and whatever else in between. He's been traded a lot for a lot of money. A lot of money's exchanged hands to get him. So to get him on a 1 year deal with the 1 year possible extension, I think is a good bit of business. At 35-year-old, he's fit enough. He's a worker. And he's also a gentleman. So I mean, to get a guy like of that calibre across the line is good, and it shows that there is a intention by Brendan Rodgers to not just strengthen the team, but properly strengthen the team with players who are going to add a little bit of like required character, required charisma, required kind of level that we need, because we could go and sign 5, 6 Jozo Somnovic, Eric Saviachenkos. We could go and buy 10 Moussa Dembele's. We could go and buy these people who get traded around the place. We've done it before. We've bought the likes of the Pookies, the Skepovic's, the Derek Barikters, all these guys. I mean, we've wasted a shit ton of money in the past on these unknowns. So taking our time over players you've heard of and negotiating fees for the likes of Scott Sinclair, potentially Nathan Dyer, potentially A, B, C, D and E, all these players takes a bit of time. We could go and sign fiddle farts from leagues that you've never heard of before, and at the end of the day, they're not going to improve the calibre of the team. So I can understand Mr. Rodgers and his desire to go and sign players of a different level, of a different calibre, because we've had them all before. We've brought players in, we've gave them exorbitant salaries, we've given them exorbitant transfer fees, and then they've come in and done fuck all, and we've wasted money, and we've wasted money hand over fist. So to take our time and to go about dealings properly makes a bit more sense, but at the same time, from us as a fan's point of view, it is very frustrating when deadlines are missed, when we are screaming out for certain players and it still doesn't happen. It does get very, very frustrating, but we only see one side of the coin, or we see a kind of distorted one side of the coin. We read up on things and we use internet rumours and the many internet bandpots that they are. Some of you guys are absolutely superb, and I love reading a lot of you guys' blogs. I'm not going to mention all the names that I read on a daily basis, but some of you guys just keep me ticking over, and it's good to be a Celtic fan listening to some of the guys, their opinions and their views. It's really, really good, and hopefully I can kind of join a little bit of a community eventually as soon as these kind of take off a little bit more. I've got a lot of ideas up my sleeve if they can take place, and I want them to take place, so hopefully they will in the future. But anyway, I think I've kind of rambled on enough about this, but I want us to stay positive. I want us to go into this tie, not just the away leg, but the home leg in a positive manner. And hopefully we will do, and just go about our business and progress through to a very difficult playoff round. Not exactly sure who we could be getting yet, but we've always been hot with an absolute stinker of a team, so we just need to kind of see how it goes. But hopefully we get through this tie. Getting through this tie guarantees us European football. That's got to be remembered by the team, and it's got to be remembered by Mr. Rodgers. It's got to be remembered by the full club. Is that this tie guarantees European football, because if you don't win the playoff, then you go into the Europa League. It's not a good prize, but it's a decent runners-up prize. So there's got to be a desire to go for the jugular, get this tie won, get it out the way, and then concentrate and get the one or two players in who's just going to change the dynamic of the team. I don't want to ruffle everybody's feathers by overhauling. That's not what's needed. It's just one or two players, like you've seen in this starting 11. Forrest is out of position, and obviously with no solid experienced centre half at the back. You just kind of want to have these little things covered. So hopefully that will all happen before long, and we'll see how we go. Obviously, Corotori is going to be that experienced centre half that we need, but I think we just need that little bit more depth, and we'll be fine. But anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. Thank you very much for your time as always. I appreciate where you anybody who takes the time to watch the videos, whether you come from This Is Celtic, Celtic News Now, or anywhere else that picks up this video. I very much appreciate it for you taking the time to come to my YouTube channel and to listen to a guy talk shite. But I'm just expressing my opinion, so that's all we do. I mean, anybody who does blogs and who does media writing and all these type of things, it's all just opinion, and that's all it is. So thank you for letting me share mine, and that's it. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.